The name of this picture story is The Open Door. The story of books in Dakota land. Presented in the public interest by the South Dakota State Library Commission. This is a storybook land. Throughout a century, these scenes have written their stories into the lives of people. The fur traders, explorers, missionaries, the proud tribes of the Sioux Nation, miners, railroad builders, buffalo hunters, writers, artists, cowboys, ranchers, and homesteaders whose stories were lived here have written their life into the land. This is our heritage, this land of richness and variety, and the stories of the people who have made the land their own. New stories will be written as another century and new generations of people claim Dakota land for today and tomorrow.
Dakota land, the home of Mount Rushmore, a mighty tribute to great leaders of our country. One of the faces was most familiar to those who first settled in Dakota land 100 years ago. The qualities of character and the desire for learning in our national leader of that time were reflected in the people who settled this territory. Occupying precious space in every wagon were two books, the Bible and the Almanac, and sometimes a treasured volume of Shakespeare. The settlers spent long, lonely winters, finding the companionship of their books more precious in their isolation. Magazines and papers which came from relatives were read to tatters by everyone in the new country. Books were rare and precious, but were shared by all. Sometimes the 3 R's had to be learned at home, using books saved by the parents. Because books for learning were scarce, an early day exchange between schools was carried out by volunteer horsemen. Generations that followed the pioneer settlers also felt the need for the printed word, an open door to knowledge for solving their problems. Many hands built this library, dedicated to the spirit of learning by a group of determined citizens. In 1913, legislators, prodded by South Dakota women, created the Free Library Commission, which loaned books to the people without other library service. Books from this state library were distributed to country stores and homes. Children of the 30s growing up on the farms and ranches of the big Dakota country will remember a dedicated state librarian. It was her personal efforts that brought them the world through books, opening the door to adventures, travel, fantasy, and a broader look at life. Those children have grown up. taking their place as South Dakota citizens in an infinite variety of occupations and ways of life, finding there are as many uses for books as there are people. Today, although more libraries have been established and Bookmobile service has come to South Dakota, half the people of Dakota land are still without library service. Boys and girls hungry for books find the regular visit of a Bookmobile always an adventure. Carrying thousands of volumes to scheduled stops at farms, schools, crossroads, anywhere people will agree to meet, the traveling library offers country readers a chance to select their books. Driving the wide-open spaces of Dakota may cause the librarian to wonder if it's worth it. But when, at the next stop, he sees the joy and relief on the faces of the people who waited for him, well, then he knows it's worth it. The biggest demand for books comes at lonely reservation camps like Little Eagle, Bear Creek, White Horse, Green Grass, Promise, Bullhead, and Red Scaffold, where thirst for information is shared by young and old. One of the most rural states in our nation could become the best read, with additional traveling libraries to cover the unserved areas. The hands that built this library years ago have laid down their work. But books still go in and out to the people in many small libraries across the state. Our libraries belong to our people. Those who serve on library boards are giving special service in planning and promoting reading resources. When reading for enjoyment or a purpose. Purpose. Young people in high school find books of greater importance than ever before as they prepare to meet the challenges they face. Later, in colleges, they find the material needed for their research in this fast-changing world of the 20th century. At their service, we find the librarians, impartial, professionally trained, ready, anxious, and willing to help them find the information they need. The value of books is recognized by the dollar-minded directors of a mining company who have supported the library for many years. Its resources make a rich contribution to the company employees and their neighbors. Special features are their technical reference collection and books in foreign languages. The State Library in our capital city is a source of help to all libraries in the state and available to every citizen. To this central library, each community, school, or individual may turn for information that will supplement his local reading resources. Legislators may consult the reference assistant for background information on a bill which is being considered. She may be answering a question mailed from a church worker or gathering research material to send a high school student working on a term paper. Librarians may have help from the catalogers who prepare the books for circulation. Here, equipment is located for printing catalog cards for small libraries, though budget limitations have not permitted sufficient personnel for its effective use. Board members and others consult the state librarian for advice on their library problems. Newsletters are published which keep organizations informed on library development and latest reading materials. Individuals, schools, and libraries may borrow these books. Thousands of requests each week from all parts of the state are filled. A severely limited budget means empty shelves and long waiting lists for many titles. The living world of people brings to life the world of books. browsing, building, learning, doing. Whatever their mood or whatever their activity, people find their experiences enriched through the use of books. The hands of young and old turn the pages where the knowledge and emotions from the past have been recorded. They translate the world of words into spiritual treasure for today's living and tomorrow's purposes. Books, ideas, their power to make you laugh or weep, to love or hate, to wonder, and to understand is without measure. With books, you can reach the heights of fancy, or you can escape into Never Never Land from a humdrum life with its problems. Books can be a source of strength and of rest. The vision of mothers of people who carried the books on horseback to the places where they were needed, of men who worked with their hands, with logs and stone, to make buildings for educational uses. Of all who tirelessly planned and talked and wrote to establish the State Library, the librarian who labored countless hours, traveled hundreds of miles, bringing books to rural children. The children whose appreciation grew with them into a determination and a dream that other children should have better library facilities. Forward-looking citizens of today dream of a strong network of libraries, rich in books, sufficient to stimulate and satisfy the curiosity of all, giving each the educational riches on which to build a future unlimited. This dream will demand more and more from all of us to keep the doors to knowledge open. South Dakota had many open doors for the century ahead. For as the seer said, he who reads not lives but one life.